Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers, and welcome. In my last video I talked about the events that my mother witnessed in the night, and after she emigrated to her country, I was still running from myself. Not long after my parents left, I also decided to go after them. I found a big fancy job with a high position, and I moved in another city. It was about an hour and a half away, so I could visit them on a regular basis. Little did I know that this would be the start of something inevitable. Within a couple of months, I realized that visiting a country is not the same as actually living there. I could not get adjusted and was struggling to fit in. Not even a year later, I decided to go back. I had cancelled everything except my passport. Had no apartment or a job, so I would have to make a restart. So, the only family I had at the time was my brother, but he lived together with his girlfriend. My father asked my younger brother to take me in for a short while, until I found my own place and a new job. This should not take more than a few weeks to get back up on my feet again. Little did I know that my younger brother was carrying rancor in his heart against me. Apparently he had some issues with me for things we did to each other when we were kids, and he never really told me this. Growing up in a place where domestic violence was the norm, it both affected us. And as a result of that, I was harsh at the time to anyone that I had no patience with. So he decided to get even with me and kicked me out of the house, while saying, "Die or sleep under a bridge. See if I care." There I was, on the street with just some cash and no roof above my head. I became homeless. I was at the lowest point of my life. A few months ago, I was the commercial director in my country of origin, and now I am going from door to door of everyone I could remember, hoping someone could take me in, but to no avail. There came a moment where I poured all my pain and sorrow and disappointment in a dua and said, "My God, the God of Adam and Eve, Abraham and Isaac, the God of Moses and David, the God of Jesus and Muhammad, the one God that owns my soul, the world and everything in it, the one and only that can get me out of this situation. Heed my supplication, my Lord. If you get me out of this situation, I will do whatever I need to do, so I never end up like this again. I will even finish what I started and become Muslim. Whatever it takes, just God please do it, or end it even if it's death, any way you see fit. But don't leave me like this, ridiculed and humiliated, out of jealousy or resentment by the people I thought were my friends." It didn't take long before something interesting happened. I met my old classmate that I knew from high school. It was the friend that performed the prayer in my dream behind my right shoulder. After I told him what happened, he addressed it as bad luck and that it can happen. "At least you pursued your dreams," he said. "You can chill at my place. I know you will be back on your feet in no time." I stayed at his place for 6 weeks, found a temporary job, and I was back in the game. After 6 weeks, I found a temporary job, and I was back in the game. After 2 months, I found a job with a bank, which was one of the 3 biggest ones, and I was finally able to use the contract they gave me to rent a studio for a year. Still remembering what I asked Allah on that day, where I was desperate, I took the Quran and finished reading it. After reading the last page, I said to myself, I came this far because Allah guided me. I called one of my friends at the time who did the inquiries for me at the mosque. 2 days after finishing the Quran, I took the Shahada. 1 year later, after I took the Shahada, I found a job where I left the banking business. I got engaged and I bought my first apartment. 2 years later, I was married and have become a father to a son. The people that were taunting me, laughing at me, and pointing fingers at me could not comprehend it. They were confused. Wasn't this the big commercial director that ended up homeless in a cold European country? How did he make it? We all know who guided me out of it. Praise and glory be to you, O Allah, and count me between the ones who are grateful to you and do not forget your blessings. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for watching. I hope that my story may benefit you as inspiration and as a witness that Allah is just, and if you sincerely call out to Him, He will answer when you put your trust in Him. Until next time,